You know, I was on a road trip recently and I drove past a town. I saw the signs. I drove past many, but one in particular whose name was Providence. And it got me to thinking. Now, this is not a word that probably is used as much as it used to be, but it is a concept that people refer to. And it is a concept that I absolutely believe in and believe the Bible teaches. Now, Webster's dictionary defines providence as the foreseeing care and guidance of God over creatures of the earth, or also a manifestation of divine care or direction. My friends, sometimes when we talk about providence, we talk about it as if it's random good luck, but I like these definitions. This is the kind of providence that I believe in, and I'd like to share with you this week 3 instances from the scriptures of providence. God's divine care and guidance and provisions for creatures on the earth, for His creatures on the earth, for His own. My friends, the first one I'd like to turn your attention to is found in Genesis chapter 22. Genesis 22, won't have time to read the entire account on any of these occasions, but want to call your mind back to the story of Abraham and Isaac. Now, Abraham was a man who, when he and his wife were past childbearing years, God had promised them a son. So this son, Isaac, was not just special as all sons are to their fathers, but the Bible refers to him as the promised son. This son was special indeed because he was a miraculous baby, a miraculous child, a God-given child, truly as all are, but in a particular way, this Isaac. So God laid upon Abraham that he should leave out and take his son Isaac and offer him as a sacrifice. Now this seems terribly cruel and completely unlike God until you read the entirety of the story and realize its purpose. But I want to call your attention to some verses beginning in verse 6. Now they're on the way, and Abraham has told his servant that he and Isaac were going to go up and worship, and then they would both come back to him, which was faith on Abraham's part. But in verse 6, Abraham said, or the Bible says, Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac, gave it to him to carry, his son. And he took in his hand the fire and the knife, so that both of them together, they went both of them together. And Isaac said to his father Abraham, "My father." And he said, "Here am I, my son." He said, "Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?" Abraham said, "God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son." So they went both of them together. Now we'll stop reading there, but the Bible student, the avid churchgoer, knows that's not the end of the story at all. Abraham, in fact, took his son up there, laid him on the altar with his hands bound, and raised the knife to sacrifice his son until God's angel called out and put a stop to it. But how I want to focus your mind this morning is simply on this. We're talking about God's providence, His all-knowing and all-understanding and all-foreseeing care and provisions for His children. What did Abraham tell Isaac? We don't have to bring something to offer, my son. God will provide for Himself a ram. And that's exactly what happened. Before Isaac could slay his son, the angel of the Lord put a stop to it, and behold, there was a ram with his horns caught in the thicket. My friends, this is the way that God works for His children. I hope that you understand this. I hope that you've seen this in the Bible teaching and the preaching that you've heard previously. God provides for His children. Abraham called that place Jehovah Jireh, which means the Lord provides. This is providence. This is the way it still happens in your life and mine. Now, none of us may get the vision of the Lord to take our children to make a sacrifice. Don't believe that's going to happen. But my friends, so many times when we think we have to make a big sacrifice, when we think we have to give up things, now we must give up sinful things. We need to do that. But when we think we're going to be in a sacrificial situation, my friend, for the child of God, we can trust God will provide the sacrifice, has provided the sacrifice. Anything that we give away down here is merely giving away the things that we don't need, giving up the things that we don't need, taking those things out of our life that detract us from God and realizing He sees, He knows, He provides and cares for all of us. My friends, just like Abraham told his son, I hope that I can say to you this morning, God provides.